我看不到哎。
诶，我开始了。诶，怎么没？等一下啊，给我一下时间。
好像已经开始了吧？
有了。
嗯
Hello, can you
好像
guys
已经开
hear
始了吧
me? OK， 开始了。It's start now. Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. 开始了。It's start now. OK 吗，文佳？
它那个声音会重合。
哦，我现在看一下那个 YouTube 是还好，
就是 YouTube 会重合。
OK， 你发链接了吗？
哦，发了。
Hello. OK。OK 吗，文佳？
它那个声音会重合。
All right。哦，我现在看一下那个 YouTube。OK，can we？那我开始了。So, is that okay? 那我现在开始了，文佳。
我觉得我们不可以，我觉得我们不可以看那个 YouTube，因为它会有延迟。
听到我说话吗？哦，延迟那没关系，我们就继续吧。OK 吗？
Okay. You can start right now.
Hello. 可以can you guys hear me? Hi guys, my name is Lope and Li Wenjia is my partner. So I'm going to so you guys can enjoy this a short tutorial.
Good morning, Theodore.
Morning.
You have a meeting in 5 minutes. You want to try getting out of bed? Get up!
지금 이 자리에 계신 여러분들은 또 드립니다. 저
My name is Loppy, so I'm going to start a presentation first. So I'm going to have a movie review on the Korean movie series Squid Game with you guys. And this presentation is prepared for Dr. Shafika. Squid Game is the South Korea series created by Hwang Dong-kwok, where a mysterious host invites people from all over South Korea who are desperate for money and makes them simple and easy, but the cost of losing is $100 million Korean won, which is about 1,000 K in US dollar. There are total of 456 participants. So I'm going to start the storyline. The story starts off with the main protagonist, Seo Gi-hoon, a divorced and indebted chauffeur. They are to play a game with 100,000 in return as this. So they are playing the game of Takji. After multiple rounds of failure, Gi-hoon wins a round and given a marker much higher stakes, and Gi-hoon and another 455 players are picked up and taken to an unknown location. All the players must wear green jumpsuits, with the games overseen by the front officer wearing a black mask and black uniform. Come to the episode 1, the front green light at this feature zone. This game is that if a player caught moving is shoot dead on the spot. By the end, Sang-woo and player 199, Gi-hoon finishes the game and alive. Come to the second game, the man with the umbrella, Dalgona Candy in episode 3. Each player must perfectly extract a stem shape from a Dalgona candy under a time limit without breaking it. So you guys can enjoy this video and how the game protagonist ends up the game by picking the most difficult shape, with which is an umbrella, but he can complete the game by licking comb to melt it. So the third game is Tone of War in episode 5. Gi-hoon's team big when they saw who they are facing, a team of strong-looking men. So Il-nam is the player 001, coaches the team with the smartest way to play the Tone of War. And it works for a while before the other team make a breakthrough and Gi-hoon gets pulled right off the edge of the platform. So you guys can watch through this video. It looks like all is going to lose until Sang-woo comes up with an idea, and finally victory declares them. Carry out. Gambu, which choose to pair up but with their partner in a marble game of their choice. Whoever gets all their partner's marbles within 30 minutes, they will win and survive. So let's place the video. So the next one is the fifth game in episode 7, Glass Marble, Glass Bridge. The players are going to cross a 2-panel bridge where each panel will made of either tempered or regular glass. The players at the front of the line fall to their deaths as they progressively test the panels. So this video is how the players are going to play the games, test the panels progressively. At the end, Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Sebyo are the last 3 survivors. So the last episode, the Squid Game. Squid Game is indeed a real game in real life. Gi-hun defeats Sang-woo after a brutal fight, but refuses to kill him. Although once Gi-hun kills him, Gi-hun will win the prize money. Instead, he begs Sang-woo to stop the game, being third class. Sang-woo stabs himself in the neck and asks Gi-hun to take care of his mother before dying. Gi-hun is returned to Seoul with the bank card to access the prize money. This is the last scenes of the So come to the end of the story, titled One Lucky Day, wraps up the season, where a year later, Gi-hun remains traumatic and has not touched his prize money. He receives an invitation card from his Gangbu and finds Oh Il-nam, player 001, on his deathbed. Il-nam reveals he created the game to entertain bored ultra-rich people himself. In this current series, the sheer closeness of the tournament and the mysterious figure behind it is gripping, while the events make you question that if you had rather to set free the Squid Game. Now come to the psychology tense. The first one is herd behavior. Second one is Yerkes-Dodson law. Third one is Sigmund Freud's theory. Phenomenon individuals act collectively as a part of a group, often making decisions as a group that they would not make as an individual. Herding theory has its own roots in Keynes, who focus on the motivations to imitate and follow the crowd in a world of uncertainty. When herd behavior sets in, individual persons judgment and opinion as he or she automatically follow the group's movement and the behavior. Herd behavior in human is frequently observed at times of panic. So for as in this Squid Game, the sake of losing their individual reasoning and voting by following their crowd, they think that the rest reflects the herding behavior is in episode 1, where there is no secret ballot. If most players agree to end the game, and would surviving players earn any prize money. Voting is open for the outcome they truly value, but at the same time, they will continuously receive signals on which is most popular among those who vote. Theory is Yerkes-Dodson law. The law was first described in 1908 by psychologists Robert Yerkes and John Dillingham Dodson, which suggests that there is a relationship between performance and arousal. In simple terms, increased arousal to a certain level can help to boost performance. Once the arousal level crosses the optimal level, the performance of an individual starts to diminish. So now I will perform you guys with the graph. Okay, this part is the low arousal level. It is the state of our body when we are not expecting to perform any complex task. And then come to optimal arousal is the condition of perfect balance where the individual is not too aroused, neither under aroused, and thus performs is also optimum for both simple and complex tasks. So come to the high arousal level is the state when the arousal level of an individual is over optimum balance. So the next explanation is that whenever have a test or game coming up, you might perform better when doing the real thing than you did during practice because the extra pressure is too great. But at the same time, with a higher arousal level, may cause you to choke and start making mistakes that we normally would not make it. Example of this law can be taken by looking at the players' performance in this Korean series, Squid Game. Players are required to carve up a shape stem into a piece of candy in episode 3. You can see this GIF. At that instant, if their arousal level is at an ideal level, the players can extract a stem shape from a dalgona candy without breaking it, and they will survive as well. However, the threat of death for failure, this task could suddenly become nearly impossible when the arousal level optimal. Come to the last, Sigmund. The theory of psychoanalysis was founded by Sigmund Freud back in 1890s. Freud's original conception divided personality into three levels: consciousness, preconscious, and the unconscious. According to Freud, the unconscious is the one of the levels of personality that is larger and invisible portion below the surface. This is the focus of psychoanalytic theory. Its vast, dark depths and are the home of instincts, those wishes and desires that direct our behavior. The unconscious contains the main driving power behind all behaviors and is respiratory of forces that we cannot see or control. Unconscious contains thoughts, wishes, feelings, and memories that we are unaware. Psycho- Psychology theory in this Korean movie will focus on ID, one of the basic structure in the anatomy of the personality. The ID corresponds to Freud's early notion of the unconscious, is a reservoir of the instincts, and it is vitally and directly related to the satisfaction of bodily needs. ID is the selfish part of us and it's acid and stored from birth. The ID operates in accordance with Freud called the pleasure principle. Through the concern with tension reduction, the ID functions increase pleasure and avoid pains. So for the example in this Squid Game, in this Korean movie series, the Omnimus Bro Pingy Bang could as constant reminder to players of their potential winnings. The ID strives for the immediate satisfaction of its needs and does not tolerate delay or postponement of satisfaction for any reason. It knows only instant gratification. It drives players to want what when they want it without regard anyone else want. So next month, in episode 4, even killing each other to eliminate the other players to get more prize money. So this is the GIF shown where you can see these scenes in the movie. So that's the end of my story and my presentation. So I will pass my presentation to my partner, Li Wenjia. Thank you guys for listening to my part.
Wow, thanks, Pace presentation. Great job. Can you hear me
Good luck to
clearly?
you, Wenjia. Yes.
Okay, then I will start my presentation. Well, hello guys. My name is Li Wenjia.
Yes.
And today I want to introduce a low-budget movie, Her. A short film review for me is a romantic and tender but lonely story. Personally, I think it's a very suitable movie to watch on rainy days. Oh, the director said this is a film that explores intimacy because human beings desire intimacy and are afraid and resistant to it. I saw many people lamenting that technology has facilitated communication, but it also allows people to hide behind and avoid real emotional contact. But when I watched the first half of this movie, I thought it was a story about what love should be like. But in the second half, I realized it is a story about how to love. And well, for a long time, artificial intelligence has always been an important part of science fiction film discussion. The topic of discussion is simply what happens when technology has a human mind. In the movie The Terminator, artificial intelligence destroys humanity. In I, Robot, AI saves human and robot. But the movie Her does not talk, so big. This time, humans fall in love with artificial intelligence. Well, today's movie is about a love story between Theodore and Samantha. In the near future, the main character, Theodore, is a letter writer for a letter writing company. This position is interesting. He helps people to use letter to convey those words that people are embarrassed to say. The except their gratitude or sweet words. Of course, it's not handwriting. You see the words and the computer soft automatically converts the content into a handwriting letter. Oh, Theodore did a great job. He always wrote the most emotional words, but in fact, he's just ending the heartbreaking love affair. After living long, he became the most common kind of loser again. Listen to sad love songs, home to play VR games, and full of interest pornography. Well, he thought maybe he will live like this for the rest of his life. He would adapt. Well, maybe so until he met Samantha. Samantha is a new OS, artificial intelligence voice system. You can come to understand that upgraded version of Siri, and she is just a voice. Well, so far we know that heroic of this movie is an artificial intelligence. So what is the connect between AI and psychology? Well, psychology is actually one of the theoretical foundation of artificial intelligence. It uses the knowledge of cognitive psychology. Assuming that human brain is a computer, they need the mind and algorithm, yes, to be combined. Just like people cannot separate reason and emotion. Research of cognitive thinking through the intimacy of psychological phenomena, analysis and summarizing, summing up what people will do, and then apply it to the computer. And the development of artificial intelligence to gather more information. It provides a rich sample of psychological research, and after analyzed can also peek into the complex thoughts inside people. Well, go back to our storyline. Guided by street advertisement, Zelda bought a copy of the OS. Back home, he waited with the anticipation and anxiety of the installation. So when Samantha, with her sexy and husky voice, said the first hi, Zelda really amazed. And if the isolation when there is a good friend can tell each other's feeling. Only this good friend belongs to him personally and just listening. Oh, by the way, Samantha is voiced by Scarlett Johansson. Well, I think it's the most reason that people fall in love with the OS quickly. Well, Samantha has the ability to learn. She is the same as the human brain, never-ending learning. The important thing is that she can think independently. She helps Theodore to take care of everything and make a suggestion. Well, on why Theodore fell in love with Samantha, here what he said. It feels so good to be with someone who is passionate about the world that I have forgiven I ever existed before. But I think it was a given that he would fall in love with her because Samantha understanding him, or rather to is learning him. She's present at any time when she's needed, can just uh, accompany him to talk about his favorite topics, play songs, and match his mood. Can be said to know him absolutely well and know all his true thought. I think this is the most important point. It's simply like a perfect lover. A love just accepted and without any payment. For Cyril, it can be said it's a perfect lover, but I reminded of saying maybe he's falling in love with himself. Well, Cyril talks to Samantha when he has nothing else to do, and he talks about his um, misfortune and sorrows, regardless to whether the person who is talk is who is human or just AI. And frankly, he's quite comfortable. And then he met his ex-wife and went through the divorce process together. So the ex-wife also complained a lot. Their relationship eventually broke up because Theodore is always running away. He always thinking about other people's problems and never consider what he is doing. Even some like divorce is a covered choice to run away. And Theodore had listened about his ex-wife said he never felt aggrieved at this. He felt that everything was strange and all he had was Samantha. Honestly, is an interesting to do, but he did in fact fall in love with Samantha. He fell in love with a voice. That means he's sure that Samantha is perfect, exactly how he intimidates his wife to be, without having to worry too much about it, which is relief. Well, technology has changed humankind, and this change is uh, naturally two-sided. It's real life. We are limited by rules and regulation, and the internet seems to be our relief. You do not have tell people who you are, and you don't have to be responsible what you say. You can be anyone in the internet, especially in the current era of big data, where everyone is the main character. Many times people just want to find find a window to vent and talk. As for listening, is who, it doesn't matter, and it's what, it also doesn't matter. Well, Sado is often eager to get his mind, and he's certain a center of the world. Everyone is to be around him, and he does not um, need to be responsible of anything. Feels of him is only a one-side expression. For feelings, he's like a cake. Yes, I think. Like of he wants a lot, but he's too hesitant. In each side in the development of the relationship, he thought about the whole life. Instead, in a relationship also broke up. And it's maybe the typical social phobia. In his era of even emotional experiences can be so outsourced. Outsourced. Yeah, I think it's a fear of countless people are facing. Well, and Samantha may be the good idol type in his mind. You do not have to make any vows commitment. You don't have to worry about other parts, especially betrayal. And in the relationship, you do not have to face each other. You are full of confidence. When Theodore tells jokes, Samantha draws picture for him. Theodore played the ukulele, and Samantha sings songs with the song. Samantha also compiled an selection of a letter when Theodore had handwriting in the past, but the relationship did not last. One morning, Theodore found that Samantha has disappeared, and he was so distraught and he rushed out of the office. When he researched the stairway, he got a response of Samantha, and then he relaxed and sat on the floor. Samantha said she left to study. After the result questioning by Theodore, Samantha frankly confessed he was falling in love with 641 users at the same time. Well, despite this, she says she still loves Theodore, and her love not different because of other lovers. Finally, Samantha leaves, and he goes up to find and explore their existence with other OS operating system. And Theodore goes back to original thing, sitting on the chair and staring the sky. Well, he thought of the moment and then wrote a letter to his ex-wife using, of course, using his voice to express how worried and irresponsible he had been for so long, and this love, his journey would not be hold on his future. Well, this time he chose to open the window and look at the lonely night sky before the sunrise. Well, I think Her is a very quiet movie, not like too many genre films. It's quite enough to make you, self reflection to your own. The impact of technology on human beings is not means limited to this. But at least for this perspective of this film is related. This film is fastly look at the interwork and group of people representing one person, and it's also very beautiful. It uses many pure warm color. Well, another psychological knowledge I want to talk about is the projection effect of psychoanalyst schools. The projection effect is a tendency of attribute one's own characteristic to other people in connection and forming impression of others, the phenomena of thinking and that others also have the similar characteristic to oneself, projecting one's own feelings, role, and characteristic onto others and imposing them to them. The cognitive disorder of projecting oneself onto others. Well, for example, the person who is kind-hearted will think that others are kind. A person who is often articulating others will think that others are articulating him, like this. Well, speaking of this, suddenly I felt a loneliness close to the extremely loneliness close to Samantha. He, he learned for them that users. He determined for them. He knew them. He wants to close to everyone, but there was only one way in interfaith given. No return. No one really loved her. No one understand her, even though no one enter her world, and no one to keep up with the speed of her progress. Well, finally, she said, if you could come into my world and find me, I will still be the same as before. Well, this proportion affair has no ending and is full of deep emotions. The most important thing that you can do is learn how to love. So we need to learn how to love and not to make the person who love us perfect. Because no one is perfect. Everyone have the disadvantages, right? Well, if you hear this, then thanks so much for listening. And I hope everyone also have the courage to love yourself and love others. Yeah. And also thanks my partner Pei. And this is end of my presentation.
Yes, well done, Wenjia. I think later on we can meet at school and watch this movie together, right? Next year, maybe. Which would you like to come to Malaysia and then we can watch this movie together?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys
Okay.
for watching. Okay, I think that's for our presentation. So good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye bye.